Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Fire the shotgun, spraying that giant bug's gut sack with buckshot and busted windshield. Spider innards splatter everywhere, and you fire again. Then the spider lights up and tumbles over the rear end of the Charger, landing on its back, those impossibly thin legs flailing in the air as it tries to right itself. It won't be trying for long. You're already out of the car. You're already reloading the shotgun.
It's such good writing.
It is. That's Norman Patridge in one of the stories. I should plug the name of his story as well. In An Ill Wind Knows Your Name, which is one of the short stories in the Joe R. Lansdale Drive-In Multiplex collection that is in honor of how amazing Lansdale is. I got 2 copies. I got one signed by all the authors, too. You can't see that one. It's somewhere
Ooh,
over
that's
there.
cool.
Yeah,
That's
that's
awesome.
cool.
It's hidden. It's in the
It's-
safe.
I've got a couple I want to put into a case, but we'll get there when money gets here.
I got
Welcome
what
to
do you call it,
Xenomania,
autograph.
guys.
I was gonna say I got an autographed copy of The Crow somewhere.
Oh, sweet.
He was cool to meet. He hates the original Crow, by the way, the author. Slipping on his name, but he hates the original. And he was hoping that the remake would be great. Joke's on you, the original's still classic.
Yeah, the original's really good.
I would put at
Really
least one of the sequels above the remake.
Yeah.
Wicked
the
Prayer.
remake
At
was
least
hot
one of
garbage.
them.
We've already ripped on the remake in 2 separate episodes. We might as well make the hat trick complete because
Iggy Pop.
Skarsgård with a katana? Like, what are you doing? What are we even doing here? Why are we even doing this?
It's
You
the
bastard.
black and white Joker makeup. Fake
before
Joker.
we get into all that
Yes.
and go off into Mordor, let's talk about why we're here today. So we already talked about Lansdale, and the reason why we brought up Lansdale and started with that quote from Patridge is that we're doing our episode tonight on Bubba Ho-Tep, which is a phenomenal movie directed by
Don Coscarelli.
who's been a
Our
guy we've been talking about.
We are
Sixth
definitely-
time talking about him.
We are definitely teetering on being a Don Coscarelli fan podcast at this point.
It seems like it.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
Get the
I'm cool
t-shirts
with it,
made.
too.
Come on. Coscarelli.
Coscarelli and Romero have something in common. It's that they want to do it their way and they don't care about the money. I feel like that's
Yep.
the truth for both of those guys. Coscarelli and Bruce Campbell, who plays Elvis, and
Elvis.
and Lansdale. I mean, if you can think of a more holy trinity to come together on a project, please.
Yeah, that's about the biggest combo you can come up with, like the coolest, B-ist, cultist.
And the best part is they roadshowed it. Coscarelli roadshowed it across the country, which made it more into a cult status, besides having Campbell, and the lack of access thereof.
Okay.
Bruce Campbell toured it also on his book tour.
Oh, that's
sweet.
cool. I didn't know that.
That's pretty
I
cool.
think on the If Chins Could Talk, I think the book was called.
They
Or
added
leading
more
it,
chin
no.
to him.
Oh,
Did you
yeah.
notice that they added more chin to him? Like, I was like, you see the makeup kind of peeling away in one scene, and I'm like, that's definitely not his chin. I was a little disappointed because I was like, I thought it was his real chin. It's like, no, it's added makeup.
Now the budget in this was also not very huge. It was like a Coscarelli staple. I think Beastmaster might have been his largest budget. I'm not sure if Beastmaster was bigger than Ravager. Well, not Ravager, but
Two. I would say
Phantasm
2.
Yeah. I think it was 9 million Beastmaster.
Oh no, that does surpass Phantasm 2. That never mind.
Okay then. So that's probably the highest budget he ever worked with. I don't think Bubba Ho-Tep beat that.
No, Bubba Ho-Tep, but I've seen it a couple different spots, $500,000 to $1 million.
That's it. Wow. They did a pretty good job with that amount of money, though.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he always does. That's a Coscarelli specialty.
Yeah. You would think that he spent 25 on this, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I think, anyway, after a few things in the rewatch. Except for the makeup that Ryan was talking about.
And the scarabs. this you can tell they're fake. They're like the little plastic ones you get at like you're going on a family trip and you get them at the gas station because you think they're so cool.
That's a fair point. Yeah. We didn't do
I mean,
anything clever with the scarabs.
I loved them. I thought they were cool, and you
Mhm.
have a cool scene with, not to jump, but you have a cool scene with Bruce Campbell, Elvis fighting one, and then of course like the earlier scene when with the older lady, which is right in the beginning. But we'll cover all that. We'll cover that.
Yeah. So we're talking about Bubba Ho-Tep, which is this phenomenal movie. Bruce Campbell plays the lead, who's Elvis Presley. We can just get that out of the way right now. And Elvis dies after, what was the injury? A hip, from too much hip thrusting?
Yep.
He felt
He
broke
passes
his
out. He
hip.
doesn't die. Yeah, he breaks his hip or whatever. He wakes up from a coma in a nursing home
20 years
um,
later.
20 years later. And things are not as they may seem. It's up with Jack, who's a black man, and also
JFK.
John F. Kennedy. John F.
Played by
Kennedy,
Ossie Davis.
played by Ossie Davis. And those two have to team up to take down an ancient evil that is menacing the nursing home.
He had some nice cowboy boots though, Bubba Ho-Tep,
Bubba Ho-Tep is a mummy.
played by Bob Ivy.
You guys aren't aware yet. Bob Ivy did he did the mummy parts.
Yes, he did.
And they went into they do the lore stuff and everything in it, which is fun. So the mummy doesn't just like slash and grab and things like that. He sucks souls, but he does it in the
From your
way,
ass.
and that's Japanese and Egyptian. And there's a few cultures that do it where you can get your soul sucked out of your ass. You played Elden Ring, right, Ryan?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, you did with
100%.
me. Um,
Yes.
There's the dung eater in that comes from one of those ancient entities that steals your soul from your butt.
I just killed him. I didn't even do his story. Like I accidentally
I did the whole dung eater ending. Yeah,
I
the
wanted
full
to,
dung eater.
and I just slashed him, and he was like, "Come here," and I was like, "Oh crap, here we go,
Yeah,
here we go."
yeah. There's
Still
like
wearing
6
level 1
playthroughs,
armor.
like I did, to be like, I might as well do the dung eater ending. But anyway, so like Bubba Ho-Tep, the name for the mummy, so that's also the name of the film, and it's a cool start to it. It starts out and it rolls into like a weird monologue, right?
Mhm.
Where he's talking, yeah, Bruce Campbelling, and he's talking about what's he complaining about in the monologue.
Well,
Playing about his wiener.
You could say
yeah.
it. It's okay. You could say
He's
wiener on you.
so
He is
aging Elvis confined to his nursing home bed is unable to prove he's Elvis, but he also has a cancerous pecker that doesn't work.
Oh, Peter Popper cancer pecker.
I'm not sure which he's more upset about, the cancerous part or the fact that it doesn't work.
no.
Probably the fact that it doesn't work. It's Elvis. He's been putting
Mhm.
that thing down for a while. What do you think Elvis's body count was? Real talk.
Did he beat Wilt?
I mean, sidebar, did Wilt inflate his numbers? Yeah.
Is he a man?
Mm,
Okay,
If
so let's
he's a
divide
man,
by
he
10. Is that
inflated
the
his
rule?
number.
Isn't the rule to divide by 10? Every time a man says they had however many women they slept with, that you divide by 10. And for a
Well, I
woman, you
hope not.
multiply by 3
yeah. That'll.
because the lie is different.
I can't divide by 10.
What did Wilt say? 1,000?
10.
He said over 1,000. 10,000.
He said
He said
10K.
10,000? There's no way. Yeah, so let's
10K.
say conservatively he had 1,000 women, and even that's like, okay, Wilt. Say that. I think
He
Elvis
might. I
probably
mean-
didn't have. I don't think Elvis slept with 1,000 women.
I think a country's filled.
I don't know. Wilt could have gotten there. If you see hotels when these guys travel and how many
Well,
women are just waiting
Yeah.
there.
I do
It's
know
true.
about that. I know that some of them used to have spreadsheets and things like that with all their like numbers in it and everything to try to get them.
I was watching a Kevin Nash shoot, just real quick, just to pop in some wrestling. They used to reveal it on like WCW Nitro, their address where they were staying at the hotel to have the women come and party with them.
That's
And
crazy.
it's like you watch the old clips, they'll be like, "We're staying at the Holiday Inn on Route 22. Come join us." And it's like, yeah, of course. Come on. If you're in the area, why not? But
Yeah, how many times
Uh,
did actually women show up and not like tons of dudes?
There's
Seven
probably
dash.
ring rats.
It's Diesel, bro. Yeah.
Too sweet.
I don't know, but I'd imagine Elvis slept with a ludicrous amount of women.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I'd say 500 with a peanut butter sandwich.
I'd go minimum 500. Between
Then
500 and 1,000 would be if I was betting and I like had to pick a zone. But that's literally like
Yeah.
a huge area.
not to full on slander Elvis. How many were legal?
Not many. At least in the
No.
beginning when he was touring with Johnny Cash and everybody. Wasn't who else was with them? Wasn't Jerry Lee Lewis with them? When they were
Yep.
all touring together, it was anything.
Mhm.
They slept with any, and we all know Jerry Lee Lewis was very loose with his morals with regard to women.
Mhm.
So they did what
Yeah,
they
he
did.
was. Great
They
balls
did
of
whatever
fire.
they wanted. Yeah. Wow. So I think to end the debate, the cancer was probably a secondary concern. He wanted to get some
But
blue
he-
hairs.
But he enjoyed his life. He got out of the spotlight. They go into his backstory, which is a Coscarelli thing. You always have to go into a backstory or a flashback. And they do the flashback very well done. And it's like he gives it up and it all goes downhill when he leaves the lighter fluid near the grill and blows up his trailer, destroying every document he has to prove he's Elvis Presley and not Sebastian Haff. Still eating that blueberry pie, probably.
So yeah, we should probably expound on that a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So later in his career, Elvis decides he's had enough of the spotlight and wants to, fade away, but also recognizes there's a 0% chance that Elvis can do that. So he
True.
goes on a hunt to find somebody to replace him. And he settles on an Elvis impersonator named Sebastian Haff. And as Elvis says in his voiceover at Bruce Campbell, Elvis says, Sebastian Haff liked drugs too. So that's
More than I
the
did.
downfall. Because
Yeah.
Sebastian Haff's drug use as Elvis starts it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then
Just kind of reminds me of
The
Dewey
explosion.
Cox.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I say it reminds me of Dewey Cox.
Think
He's
it's
like, you don't
mid-satire?
want this, Dewey. You don't want this, Dewey. I want to smoke this weed. It'll do so many bad things to you, Dewey. What are you guys doing? It's called cocaine. Keeps us awake at night. You don't want to do this, Dewey. That's all I can see in this Bubba Ho-Tep thing of Bruce Campbell. You don't want to do this, Elvis.
This movie, I mean, it was so phenomenal. This is one of the B horror movies I watched with a ton of my friends in my buddy's basement. And it was just like, it holds up today just as well as it did back then. But this really does shine when you watch it with 6 or 7 people and you got a little running commentary going along, making jokes here and
Oh,
there.
yeah.
It
Definitely.
slapped. I think we watched that in Major League the same night. It was a good night. A good night. Yeah, it just, I mean, I can't really get into too much of like the minutia. Just it's a cinematic experience for you in a very Coscarelli way. There's a lot of storytelling. It's not fast paced. It's not ultra gory. The action begins with, I think, JFK Jack comes up to him and it's like, Bubba Ho-Tep was trying to suck my soul out of my ass.
Yeah,
When he's on the
he
ground.
finds JFK face down in his room.
Yeah, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And these two are which ones?
But-
So we got a walker and a wheelchair. Elvis is in the wheelchair, right?
Elvis is in the walker with the walker
and the walker.
Yep.
throughout. And
Yeah,
up until the
But
end,
JFK can walk.
is mostly walking.
he's mostly walking.
Yeah. And that's a side note. In that scene, he's like, Jack, get up. Jack, are you okay? And he won't answer him. And he's like, Mr. Kennedy. And he's like, yes. Oh, Elvis. Or it's like, who are you? It's Elvis, Sebastian. He's like, oh, all right. But he won't respond anything except if it's Kennedy, which is hilarious, especially later on, where he's like, I went to the library with my niece. And I'm like, no one knows you're here. You're supposed to be Mr. President Kennedy, and you just came back from the library with your niece? Like, what's going on here, Jack, Kennedy, John?
It's good stuff.
JFK is also just like the level of conspiracy that he builds into his story. That the assassination happened, It was LBJ,
Hmm.
and they decided to stash him in a nursing home. And when Elvis calls him out on it, like, well, you're black. He's like, yeah, they dyed me.
Probably one of the best moments of the whole movie right there, too. There's the fact that they wrote him. It's so shticky. There's so much humor in it and so much. It seems so ridiculous on paper. When you're watching it, you kind of forget that you're taking it seriously, too. It's a
Oh,
movie. Like, it's
absolutely.
a real movie. It's got beats and signposts and all that, and you're enjoying the hell out of it. But it's got this ridiculous plot and these ridiculous characters. It's just good stuff.
And a whole
gonna-
mess load of Don Coscarelli regulars.
Yeah,
Yep.
can we name a few?
You get Bob Ivy,
Reggie.
who was in 2 of the Phantasms. You get Reggie. You get Reggie's wife.
Richie's wife was in it?
Reggie's wife is in the trailer park explosion scene.
Oh.
Well, I'm trying to figure out which one is it.
The
Like,
dark-haired one.
I'm trying to figure out.
The dark-haired
Okay.
one, if I remember right, she's on the left.
That's the one Bruce Campbell was like went right up to, and he's like, "Hey," like,
Yeah.
all close. That makes it even funnier. Just
Mhm.
I gotta say, when I saw them on screen, I had such a big smile on my face. But I wish it was like Ash and Reggie from Phantasm talking, not Elvis and Reggie the home caretaker. But Reggie he was great in it. It was just weird to see him with short hair,
Mhm.
no ponytail.
You can
Yeah.
sort of make Ash and Elvis together. They did a Army of Darkness crossover comic.
Yep, I
That's
heard
cool.
about that.
That's cool. I didn't know about this. That's something that the Barn Publishing would really promote. More stuff like that.
And you get Jennifer from Phantasm of Oblivion is the daughter of Elvis's dead roommate.
Okay.
Yep.
That was
I was trying to.
Reggie's one true love who was a true woman.
Yeah, the only real lady he actually
Yeah.
tried to bed. Huh. Well, Reggie.
And he had a chance this time around too, probably, and he probably fluffed it up.
Well, I mean, his wife was on set.
Oh, personally, I don't know.
Yeah. But what causes the mummy to start menacing a nursing home? Can anybody explain that circumstance for the listeners?
Accident.
What
Pure
kind of-
accident. The mummy, basically the whole crypt was basically taken. The whole tomb was taken, stolen by these burglars, and the bus that they were driving literally crashes over a bridge. The bus crashes into the water, floats down to the bottom, and the mummy's released. It's pretty simple. Coscarelli simpleness, which makes it
Mhm.
great.
And then the mummy settles on the nursing home because, as JFK explains, there's a lot of easy souls to take.
Ah, it does make sense. They can't run.
Mhm.
They have bum hips and stuff.
Mhm.
It's true,
That
man.
Lone Ranger guy, he can move though. He can move.
He can move. I mean, I was coming down the stairs this morning at like 5:10, and just the rickety way I was moving my body to get down these stairs. Literally my toes and ankles and knees are all like fused into just stilts. It's just, what's it gonna be like at 89 when you're running from a mummy in a nursing home? I guess they got you so jacked up on meds at that point though, you're just cruising.
It's all
Right.
these painkillers.
Oh, Patton Oswalt's got a bit
Do
on
it.
that where he's like, his mother has like more drugs than a cartel because they just throw them at her at her age.
Mhm.
Good stuff.
Love
So maybe
Patton
that would help you
Oswalt.
grease the wheels and get away from the mummy.
Yeah. Yeah, it might.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else in the cast besides? It's like, we'll just Victor away from this talking point. You guys aren't biting at all. Is there anybody else in the cast who helps to defeat the mummy? We'll get into how that happens in a little bit, but not really.
No.
It's
Not really
Jack
helps.
and Sebastian.
Yeah, it's very much a two lone heroes, kind of like nobody believes them, nobody would believe them. It's sort of like what they do with kids in horror a lot of times too. The kids
Yeah.
know what's going on, and no
The
one believes
parallels.
them. Yep.
The parallels, though,
Yeah.
to an elderly person and a young child are stark.
Yeah.
It's true. Nobody believes them. Nobody cares. They have to be taken care of.
Yep.
It's wild.
Well, that goes with a lot of the themes that are in this movie. I mean, they focus on the whole idea of aging, identity, mortality, existentialism.
Ooh, very good.
Did I say that right? Okay.
You sure
I was
did.
like,
Don't even ask. I was gonna say, keep going, buddy. You nailed it.
well, if it focuses all on that, and you see that, and as you're describing it, like how they see like the kids know, it's like as you're getting older, they're kind of like dust in the wind. You're my boy Blue. Old school. It's just like they're forgetting about them, and they're like, we're the only ones to stop this. And
Mm.
there's so much that goes into it with them preparing, and it's wholesome. Very, very wholesome, in my opinion. For a B horror film, it's wholesome, especially with Bruce Campbell and Ozzie
It
Davis. I
breaks a
mean,
lot of heart.
Yeah, I mean
yeah.
it's wholesome with the exception of the cancerous pecker.
I mean, there's anti-wholesome in it as well. It's got to be. It's Coscarelli and Campbell and Lansdale.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Campbell comes back though. It comes back.
We should have dug up some info on Lansdale. What Lansdale was on when he wrote this one? Actually, we should have. So we didn't mention
lot.
we mentioned Lansdale and showed you the book and everything. But Lansdale's an author who wrote lots of crazy crap. This
Lots
being
of
not
crazy
even. This isn't even close to crazy compared to some of the things he's written. So yeah, just put that in your head there, dear listeners.
Even the normal stuff he wrote is crazy. Like he's got detective books that have this whole wacky sense of humor, but not even just humor, just these wacky beats, and just everything he does is a little bit different from how other people do the same thing.
Which is, I think, one of the reasons why he's so loved within, especially the horror community. But he's loved by other authors because you can't emulate him. You can't. You could feed as much Joe Lansdale into Chat GPT or whatever else you wanted to. It's never gonna spit out Lansdale because you can't predict it. You can't copy him.
No.
I don't think he could copy him. That's the other thing. I think he's like one of those heart rate monitors where the beat's irregular. Like it's all over the place.
Mhm.
He doesn't know if he's peaked or if he's in a valley or whatever, and he's just crushing through work.
Yep. He's got his hands in everything, and that's what makes him a great writer. I feel like when you train or practice to be a writer and want to be a writer, you have to at least try everything or have your hand in everything. Whether you're successful or fail, you got to try. He succeeded at everything. I mean, everything he does either makes you feel like wholesome, it makes you sad, it makes you laugh, even from a children's perspective. Like we were talking about it beforehand. I'm a big Batman fan. He wrote 3 episodes of the animated series, which are excellent, and I didn't even know that, and I had so much respect for it. And it's like he connects with a lot of people, all ages. Funny enough, it's just
He's a
you just
good
gotta
dude.
look into it.
Mhm.
He's a good dude. He messaged me, was asking in a group. And this is well before I ever wrote a book. I was asking about where I could get my hands on a novel he wrote or something, and it
Mhm.
was out of print. And he messaged me on Facebook Messenger and asked me. I think it was Facebook Messenger, but it was like messages within Facebook before that was all a thing.
Okay.
And he was like, "Call my daughter. She's got some. She'll get them to you." And I was like, "Thanks, Joe Lansdale." Like I
Is this
don't
real?
even think. Yeah, but no. But here's the funniest part about it. No further information was provided. Like he didn't link me to her account. He didn't do anything like that. So I never followed up because I was like, I'm not gonna hunt down this guy's daughter. This is like, But it was
You
just
just know
so
who
like,
his daughter is.
because I guarantee he was like on his way to go grab a cheese stick and get back to the word processor because he was doing something. He's like, oh, this guy wants to read one of my stories. What a nice guy. Just shot out a message to some idiot, me. But it's cool, man. I like people like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's kooky.
Yep.
He's kooky in
Yep.
real life too, apparently. So that was a cool one. I forgot
So-
about that until this episode, by the way.
Coscarelli found Lansdale completely by accident too.
Really?
So he tells
Okay.
the story. He went in a bookstore and asked the bookseller for a recommendation of some horror. And the
Oh,
guy took him to a Joe Lansdale collection that Bubba
Okay.
Ho-Tep was in. And then it just went from there. And you
That's
get this
pretty cool.
amazing movie out of an accident.
I mean,
See, that's
a very
cool.
happy accident. I like that. That's perfect, actually. It's perfect. I wonder how many collections Lansdale has at this point. It's probably like 40.
There's a bunch. I didn't count them, but I was looking at the list to try to find the collection that I hadn't lent that never came back.
Mm.
But
Gotcha.
there's 30 at least, probably.
Which is insane.
Okay.
Figure
Mhm.
18 stories, give or take, because he picks them
Yeah.
with stories usually. It's not like King where there's 6 or 7 long like novellas and stuff in it.
Mhm.
He jacks stories in those things. So that's Lansdale. Lansdale's the inspiration for the film. Coscarelli is the producer, director of the film,
And
Yep.
writer.
and writer. He wrote the screenplay.
Well, he wrote the
I didn't know
screenplay.
that.
Screenplay. Yeah.
I'm surprised
not the book.
Lansdale didn't do it himself when they linked up.
That would have been cool, actually. I wonder if he
They
would have
could've.
added more detail.
Lansdale?
Probably.
Hey, Lansdale's writing has a lot of imagery for a wacky kooky guy. He does, like, you get pulled into his stuff. He does imagery so well you don't even
Yeah.
realize it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
that's
really
I think
do.
that's probably his best gift, to be honest
Mhm.
with you, besides his spontaneity. So I think, yeah, Ryan, I think he would have packed in a little bit more.
Mhm.
Because one thing this movie
Yeah.
does, it has atmosphere and stuff, but it doesn't have a lot of like set depth. You know what I mean?
No.
Mhm.
They're just moving along.
It's very simple. It's very Coscarelli. It is. It's like this. Like once I saw the desert shot, I was like, all right, here we go. Phantasm 6. No. But it's like you see and you're like, all right, there's not a lot of setting. He's using whatever budget he can, but that's what he's great at. And it
Mhm.
works for this film.
Yeah.
It works tremendously.
Yep.
And he got his explosion.
God,
He
this
got his huge explosion.
Technically, then you kind of got like a mini one and then a big one. But
Mm.
Coscarelli
Yeah,
does something that I think we should shout him out for too, is that he knows how to make something very stark on the cheap. The desert,
Yes.
like the
Yeah.
desert thing and stuff like that. That's a skill. He can pull that out of his pocket for 40 cents when it would, other people like Michael Bay or whatever would just be like, yeah, it's gonna be a $14 million shot right here.
Mhm.
It'd be in the Serengeti.
Yeah.
He does it with
I'm-
a shoelace, all right, and balloons
Yeah.
with a lawn
I-
chair. All right.
One thing, we're talking about the great Coscarelli here. The Scarab is bugging me a little bit more, thinking about how amazing he made those damn spheres in Phantasm. The Scarabs suck. You're
Mhm.
right.
When you compare him to the Mummy, which is like a couple years before 1999, to Bubba Ho-Tep came out in 2002, right? I think right.
I thought it was
2002, let me
earlier, but
double-
you could be
I
right.
thought it was
No,
one.
2000. So, no, June 9, 2002. So from
Okay.
99 to 2002, and seeing CGI used in the Mummy for those scarabs for like maybe a minute, 2 minutes, especially like the overseeing. Now I get it; it might have been a little more
Mhm.
expensive, but little flavor, Don. A little
Yeah.
flavor.
I mean, listen, that's the difference between $1 million budget and $50-60 million that the Mummy probably had.
Yeah. I think Scorpion King was the most egregious CGI usage in that series.
Yes.
At the battle scenes and stuff. I mean, there's like an all-out war for 40 minutes in Scorpion King of all CGI, basically. And then there's The Rock, who's
Mhm.
CGI
That-
Rock.
That was awful. Like
that was
I
really
love the
bad.
Mummy. The Mummy Returns is a good film, but seeing him have Scorpion he does the people's eyebrow. I'm like, what the hell are we doing here?
That's
Just-
right. Mummy
just-
Returns is where he's the CGI Scorpion. The
Yes.
Scorpion King is actual Dwayne Johnson.
Or
Running
we
around.
think.
Really? But
No, I'm
yeah.
joking.
But yeah, you bring up a good point. The CGI was kind of cutting edge. That was right when 90s sucky CGI was kind of fading out, right?
Well, we were
It
talking
had
about
a,
it.
Like,
it
it
had
might
a
be an
little bit
couple-
more.
Yeah.
It had a
This
little
couple months
longer.
prior was House on Haunted Hill with that crappy, as we were talking a couple episodes and stuff.
Frighteners.
They had that crappy
You
mist.
reference
Oh,
Frighteners.
yes.
Frighteners has some
I love-
shitty CGI.
It's still a good film.
Frighteners is fantastic.
Are
I
you
don't
talking
think
about when
Michael
he
J.
pops
Fox
his
has
head out?
ever done anything bad. Yes, that part specifically. But I don't think Michael J. Fox has ever done anything bad in my eyes. Made like a bad film in my eyes. Doc Hollywood was kick-ass, right? The episode of Scrubs he was in. I love Spin City. Screw everybody. I love Spin City was awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
but Spin City with him was great. Charlie Sheen was okay, but just Michael J. Fox had it down pat, and it worked. And plus, when Charlie came, all the other the original characters left. Sorry, not to get on a Spin City rant, but that's when it went down.
Yeah.
The only show that was successful where everyone stayed in recent '90s time would be like a Just Shoot Me.
Just
You
Shoot
guys
Me.
watch Just Shoot Me?
Is Michael J. Fox in it?
No, but it was David Spade, the
Oh.
poor man's Michael J. Fox.
That's a pretty good line right there. No.
I don't know. We're gonna come back to Michael J. Fox in a future episode because I am going to find a bad Michael J. Fox project.
Do it. I mean, we're thinking about it right now,
Oh.
though. Nothing comes to mind. We're not. The Back to the Futures are all pretty good.
Yep.
We can't even come close to saying those are bad. The
3D
original
was
what
fun.
was the name of his show? Where he got his start?
Family
in the
Ties?
beginning? Family Ties.
Family
was good,
Ties.
too. Family
He was
Ties
on
was
Curb
good.
Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah, he does well there. I think I already referenced the Scrubs episode. What else?
Secret of My Success.
I don't know about that
That's
one.
a good film. Is that the one with the kid? Or I'm thinking of the other one.
No, I think you're thinking of another one. Secret of My Success was
Yeah,
filmed partially at Lasden Park, though.
Oh, cool.
Ooh.
At the local park where we are, listeners. Dox us. Don't. Please don't.
It's not even that local.
And that's true. Good point. I mean,
Not anymore.
I've seen some people. You ever see the ones where they just show a picture of like a table indoors on Reddit, and then then somebody posts the coordinates of where it is? That stuff is wild. I hate that. Anyway, so Bubba Ho-Tep, back to it. So yeah, we got two geriatrics that may or may not be legends. A mummy, an infamous villainous mummy who's sucking souls out of butts. And I mean, let's call a spade a spade.
And we have the badass nurse, too.
Oh, we got our faux ratchet.
Yeah.
What
Ella
does she do,
Joyce?
Mr. Solomon?
She has the unfortunate job, among other things, of applying the ointment to Elvis's cancerous pecker. Which made me wonder, which one of them do you think has the worst role in that? Is it Elvis
Probably.
having to have somebody massage his cancerous junk? Or is it the person who has to massage Elvis's cancerous junk?
The person who has to massage it.
don't
Depending
know.
on how
It's
big of an
both.
Elvis fan she is, though.
I don't know. I mean, she
I
does
feel-
not believe that he's Elvis at all.
There you
No,
go. So then it doesn't-
Sebastian has.
There's no joy in it for her. There you go.
And he
But
can
there
feel
doesn't
that.
seem to
You
be
can-
any joy in it for him either until.
Till he has
Yeah,
a
I mean,
plan.
the fact that there's an until kind of tips
so he
the
may-
scales.
He makes a point of saying it's been 2 presidential elections since he had a boner.
They like to keep our mind back, putting it back on the fact that there's a president in the building
Mm-hmm.
as well. So, yeah, I forgot about the nurse. So that would be a supporting cast member. What does she do that's besides massage his junk?
Mostly humiliate him. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
she's a great character who like comes across as somebody who's seen everything and has heard this Elvis story every day for a decade and just is over the Elvis story and just wants
Mm.
Sebastian Haff to just stop being Elvis.
Oh, that's not gonna happen.
Tracks.
He is Elvis. Come on now.
He's the Elvis.
Oh, he's definitely Elvis.
Yeah, but I
Oh,
mean the
Chris-
ending of. So we'll do the ending. Spoilers. Blah blah blah. You're listening to the podcast. You know the deal. So
Spoilers.
we get to the ending scene. There's a big showdown. They come up with a plan because they're old and they can't fight it physically. So the plan is to.
Basically, they're gonna bring him out to the field. That's the first thing. They're gonna lure him into the field. You got JFK, Jack. You know, he's got his motorized wheelchair. And then you got Bruce Campbell. We got Elvis. He's got like gasoline, rub, and alcohol in this, like, I guess, weed canister that he's going to spray Bubba Ho-Tep with not only matches, but a lighter that he found. And chaos basically ensues in the
Yeah,
middle
it's
of the
hilarious.
woods.
It's
And
hilarious.
oh my God, it's great. It's so Bruce Campbell. I did feel bad for Ozzy Davis, though, when he gets bitch slapped. Like it's horrible because all I thought about was the movie How High with Mike Epps with the powder. I was like, "Where's your powder, Bubba? Where's your
Yeah,
powder?"
I
You
mean
just
that
bitch-
that slap is good. That slap is
He-
good.
Yeah.
it killed him.
one
It
of-
killed him.
Jars you right out.
One of those I feel bad that I'm laughing this much at this moments.
Yes.
So Elvis
It's-
doesn't
it's
Elvis
the
get in
role.
the chair, by the way?
Yep.
At some point he rams him with the
Yeah.
chair. They both go off the cliff or down the hill or whatever it is, and they end up slamming into the ground. And then Elvis gets a chance to light up Bubba Ho-Tep again, and this time it works. He lights the lighter and he finally flames on. And they defeat the mummy, and that's the great climax moment. But unfortunately the cost was Elvis's ribs or life. So he's laying
Oh,
on the
life.
shores. Laying on the shores. He stares up and the stars align. And what do they say? Do you guys remember?
It's we are all good or something like because it's Bubba Ho-Tep talking to him. Besides like the insults he puts towards him, like calling him a dick, basically in his own language and with the symbols.
Eat the dog dick of Anubis, you ass.
There we go.
That is who do you think? I wonder if Lansdale wrote that or if Coscarelli did put that in the
I
script.
think
It's got to
that's
be
Lansdale writing.
Yeah, it's
the
gotta be
graffiti
Lansdale.
on the bathroom wall is the same thing. Pharaoh gobbles
Dogs.
donkey goobers, and Cleopatra does the nasty.
Yeah.
I just love how in that scene where Bruce Campbell's like, it was probably one of the tenants losing their mind. He's like, no, it's this mummy. He's like, yeah, all right,
Yeah, okay.
Jack, Mr. Kennedy. And I'm Elvis. I am Elvis.
I'm trying to figure out exactly what it says because it's the direct answer to that where when Elvis says thank you very much, and then he dies.
Thank you very much.
And he dies. So it's some kind of like whatever, like we're easy kind of thing. I forget what it says to him exactly.
All
But yeah, he
is
does it-
well.
All is well. He goes, thank you very much. So he wasn't just trying to save him and Jack's souls. They were actually pumped to release all the old people's souls back as well.
Mhm.
So they could go to heaven.
Which is cool. That's like I didn't even think about that because when you hear the line where basically Bubba Ho-Tep is shitting these souls out, so they have nowhere to go. I just thought his death was just like, all right, maybe they released his soul. So I was like, all right, this is like a good ending because they defeat evil, but the souls aren't freed. But looking at it that way, I can go with it. They're not in the
Yeah.
toilet now, in the septic tank or the sewer. And go down the shitter.
While the mummy is writing graffiti on the bathroom stall.
Yeah.
Like a teenager, which is great. I feel like the mummy
Yes.
was a teenager.
Kind of has that vibe, a mischievous little scamp,
Hmm.
multiple millennia old scamp.
They do so many cool things throughout this with the JFK character too. Like when
Yeah,
they go into his room and the walls are just pictures of people related to the assassination. Oh, there's Lee Harvey Oswald. There's Jack Ruby. There's
Yeah.
Did you see the carpet? The blue
No.
carpet is presidential carpet.
Oh, cool.
His
I
presidential
didn't put that
carpet.
together.
I wasn't
It's
aware.
basically the Oval Office, and I'm like,
Mhm.
this is ridiculous right now with the little setup behind him, the little assassination dolls.
See, that's little touches right there.
Mm-hmm.
But
The, the,
I don't
the
remember
little
this in the
piece
story.
of dialogue as they're going off to battle the mummy, Elvis asks JFK about how Marilyn Monroe
Marilyn
was in
Monroe.
bed.
That's classified.
It's
Yeah,
classified,
that's classified.
but wow.
Just a good movie, good hang. There's not much else really to chip away at with it, really. After wrapping up, low budget, absolutely friggin' nailed it. We need more of it. We need more
Yeah, we
Lansdale
do.
adaptations, but unfortunately, I
Mhm.
don't think we're gonna get anybody as eager as Coscarelli was to do that one particular one. And while we're at it, let's get some serious Barron adaptations too. He makes some awesome
Yes.
horror movies from those short stories.
Mhm.
Langan, all of them. Let's get after it. Gemma Files. If they just did our experimental film as a movie, I would be so down. That would be a terrifying movie. It'd be a good one. And if you haven't read it yet, it's fantastic. It pulls folklore in with the concept of Lady Midday and stuff, which is cool. She's like some entity that comes and kills you if you're not working hard in the middle of the day. It's a cool concept.
Ooh, that's a
Yeah.
cool concept. It's
She's
very
been doing that in
Irish.
the book, but it's very, yeah, exactly. It's kind of to keep you
Sorry.
going out there. Like, oh, you want to take a nap under the tree, do you? Don't be around
Yeah.
when Lady Midday comes. But yeah, man, it's cool. And she nails it. We need more of that. We get Lansdale, though, we get more kooky.
Mhm.
Yeah, we do.
I do like the kook.
I
I'm down
feel
for
like
that.
the interest exists, and I think Hollywood has flirted with it. You had the Happen Leonard TV series,
Mm.
which got 3
Yeah.
seasons, despite not a lot of viewership.
Collingwood's North American Lake Monsters was turned into a Hulu show. I always forget the name of it, though, because they changed the
Mhm.
name.
Oh yeah.
I think Wounds is going to be a movie. Wounds
Okay.
is Wounds collection is sick, too. Just the Skull Pocket story is fantastic. It's a bunch of ghouls who are leaving the crypt and they go into like a carnival, but the ghouls, when they're bored, they don't play soccer, they play Skull Pocket up in the
Oh, that is
up in the
actually cool.
graveyard. Yeah,
like that.
that's another one he nails. That's a cool one.
Yes.
They have their own little society, but it's weird how he writes it. It's so good. Definitely grab Wounds if you haven't yet. What else? Let's see.
Writing that down.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I would offer to let you borrow it, but get Nathan some money. And it's a cool one to own. I can't think of any other. 30 by Barron was adapted into a movie. Annihilation was Vandermeer, and then everything Mailerman, does gets kind of a shot.
Mhm.
Every other thing he writes gets into a film here or there. He's the Stephen King chosen one. So got that
The
going for
chosen
him.
one. Chosen one.
Yes,
Sorry, I'm
sir.
thinking of
Chosen
Kung,
one.
I'm thinking of Kung Pao right now. Got me. Chosen
Yeah,
one. Wheel,
over and
wheel,
over
wheel.
again.
Sorry.
But anyway, we digress. Let's see. So give me something funny from the movie we haven't talked about yet. We want to end on a high note before we go into the top fives.
There's the Pecker was like I was crying
Pecker's
with
pretty
that
funny. Pecker's
because
pretty
it was like it was right in front of your face basically in the beginning because that's all he's talking about in the beginning is like I got this giant growth on my pecker and it's like that's great Bruce, I'm Elvis, Sebastian, whatever your name is, it's great. And he's like, am I it's just been dead. Oh, that's great too. It's like that was like the hero's arc for the pecker. It came back
Mhm.
as I
The
almost lost the
adventure
last.
the adventure revitalizes Elvis. He moves around better as the movie progresses. His pecker comes back to life. Like he needed a purpose.
Yeah, I think that's the overarching message. Well, not really. If there's a subliminal message, that might be it to get out there and hunt mummies, kids. But yeah, that's Bubba Ho-Tep, guys. That's Bubba Ho-Tep. So we're gonna roll into some top fives, and as always, we're gonna start with Ryan. What do you got for us tonight, Ryan?
So I feel like you hear nursing home, you think of safe place. So
Not at all.
I
Not remotely.
all right,
Read
fair,
terminal link from Martin Kearns.
fair. But it's deemed a safe place, right? So I thought, what are places in horror films that we haven't covered, we haven't discussed, that are safe places, quote unquote. And first, we're going to start off with a film written by Dean Koontz under the pseudonym Owen West. It's what did I say? Pseudonym
Is
wrong?
that a medication out of like East Germany?
Sodium.
Sedonium.
Sodium.
Sedonium for your
Sedonium.
anxiety may cause explosive diarrhea.
It's gonna give me explosive diarrhea.
Once every 5% chance. The movie I'm talking about, directed by Toby Hooper, The Funhouse.
Funhouse
Concerns.
is an amazing one.
It is phenomenal because you think, okay, you see these four Midwestern kids, you kind of already know something's going to happen. You get like, there's a foreshadowing, but it's supposed to be a safe spot. It's a safe place. And then they get trapped and start getting
Okay.
picked off one by one.
You know what's cool about
But
Funhouse, by the way? There's a line in the book, Funhouse, where the guy, because the creature is his son,
yes,
and he began hating the fact that this deformed thing came out of his wife, and then the line in the book that Kuntz came up with was, instead of seeing it as a punishment from God, he began to see it as a gift from the devil. I read that at like 12 or 13, and I still remember that line. And there's a scene where there's a slutty girl who tries to seduce the monster. I remember that too
yes.
because I was 13. But the line stuck with me too, and I'm proud of myself for that. Isn't that a sick line?
I
That
like
is a good line.
That's one of the reasons why I still credit Kuntz as being one of my early inspirations because he could write, man.
The scene with the girl still in the movie, that line should have been in the movie
That was
as like a
good line.
narration or something.
That line
But
made the
they-
book.
That would have made the movie. I mean, the
Yeah.
movie's good. It is what it is. Toby Hooper's a great director. The movie's a decent watch, but there are elements that they could have included in the book that would have made it 10 times better.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking about books, this next movie connects with the main character who's an author, where you think a safe place is like going away, you know, trees, quiet, but especially when you're like deaf and mute, but when there's a killer on the loose, especially in Hush, all shit hits the fan. Well, it's supposed to be
It
a
was
safe
just
place
the
for
way
her.
you shoehorned that in there. Nice safe place, lake, beautiful sun setting. But you're deaf and mute, and
You can't hear any of the birds.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what makes it so perfect. But the movie is creepy. Mike Flanagan directed and co-written with Katie Siegel. I caught this a little later on. It came out in 2016. I watched it 2020 during the pandemic, and it's like as a writer, you're like, oh, it's quiet. I mean, minus being deaf or mute, it's quiet, secluded, nothing can go wrong, and then bam, you got a killer at your door that you can't hear nor speak to. But that's a whole other story. I don't think she wanted to speak to him anyway. But it's cat and mouse. It's a good film. It's a good watch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now
It's Katie
the,
Siegel, the Katie Siegel. Am I thinking of the same or the right person?
yeah, Katie Siegel. I think she's starring in it too.
Okay, I didn't know she wrote.
Yep.
Cool, man.
She's written a couple of pieces. I really thought because her and Mike Flanagan, I don't know if they're engaged, but I thought it was more of a writer actor situation. And
Got
then
it.
I learned more it was a writer situation, and then she just kind of like acted as like the side gig, funny enough.
Oh,
So
okay.
like acting's like bread and butter, and then writing is like I flipped it around. So acting's like the main thing, and then writing's like the side piece. Whereas like if
Got it.
something's hit, so but kind of gets into another great writer and director, in my opinion. It's more of modern film, 2017. But wouldn't you feel it's safe when you're gonna meet like the in-laws or your girlfriend's parents for the first time? It's like pretty safe. I mean, mine was a quick high and bye. I just
No.
in and out. No. PTSD.
That's a horror
John.
movie in
I'm
its
sorry.
own.
You come down from upstairs. Hey, I'm Ryan. Grab a piece of sausage and you walk out the front door.
Hey, hey,
going on?
I'm the guy that's putting his cancerous pecker places.
Oh God.
I mean, if Get Out was like that, it would have made it a definitely different movie. But my number 3, or I'm sorry, 5, 4, 3 is Get Out.
Okay. Now I understand
Yeah.
why you used Get Out as your example before. Because I was like, whoa. Okay. Yeah, no, that seems safe. Nice
Jordan
little Rick
Peele
versus
directed.
Hal.
Yeah, the twist in it, and it's a good watch. It's a good psychological watch, and you know, you s- uh Daniel. I'm just gonna call him Daniel because I'm afraid to pronounce his last name.
Kyle.
Is it Kailua? I was gonna go that way, but I didn't want to like butcher it. Um, he's a great actor, and his character arc and him kind of overcoming what these people want to do with him, basically take over his body. Um, it's another good watch. Yes. It,
It's a metaphor. It's a metaphor, everybody. It's a metaphor about how white people are appropriating black culture. Get out. Get out.
It's very interesting that you put that metaphor in an episode with a movie about Elvis, who appropriated black culture everywhere.
By
see,
stealing the blues from Muddy Waters and gyrating his hips. Like, all right, we're done. Oh, man.
I'm kind of interested to see what your guys' reaction is going to be for number 2.
I thought
Because
that
I
was
mean,
number two.
oh no, that was number
Not
3.
even on there.
Number
We're 8 minutes in. Let's get there.
number 2. It's kind of like we've mentioned it before. We work at a school. School's a safe place, right? But not
No.
in Robert.
No.
It's the 3 strikes, man. You're out. It's the least safe place I go to.
We try to make it safe, but in the faculty, it's definitely
Oh,
not safe.
give me this stroke.
Directed by Robert Rodriguez, written by Kevin Williamson. It's a sci-fi horror film. Great cast: Jordana Brewster, Claude Duvall, Laura Harris, Josh Hartnett, Sean Hatasi, Famke Janssen, Piper Laurie, Baby Newirth, Robert Patrick, Usher Raymond, Jon Stewart, and Elijah
Usher.
Wood.
This is when he was in the song called
Usher.
Usher. This is when Josh
Usher.
Hartnett was Josh Hotnet. We all
Yep.
thought he was going to be the
And-
next big action star. It didn't work out that way.
No, it did not. But this movie holds up. Talk about CGI though. The CGI in this it is rough. I mean, when they have the slithering under the skin, it works still, but
Yeah.
the aliens don't hold up, and that's
None
like
of
the roughest
special
part of the
effects
movie.
really- yeah, like the bigger, broader special effects. Movie itself's okay, but it's a quintessential 90 or that era. I don't even know if it was 90s. I think it
Oh
was
yeah,
90s.
I
Yeah.
99. No,
99,
98, I'm
yeah.
sorry.
It's quintessential, like my middle school, high school era time for those movies. Almost none of them, I think. Like that was like the era of Forrest Gump and stuff like that. All the CGI led movies didn't do well at that time. IMHO. We talk about it all the time. Sorry for you boomers out there. Look it up on the Urban Dictionary and then get off of the Urban Dictionary. You don't belong there, you old bastard.
Before you find something
Immediately.
you don't want to know.
Yeah.
Hey John, what's the
But-
SmackDown mean?
Oh,
What's a
jeez.
Panamanian petting zoo?
Not as bad as a rusted trombone. Well, they probably already know that one. That's their generation, actually. But all right, if that's number 2, what's number 1?
All right, number
I
one.
feel like we backtracked.
Number one, you feel safe in your home. However, sometimes demons just gonna walk in and, like in The Exorcist, the demon just enters and it's just hell breaks loose. Directed by William
You're like a
Friedkin.
Jehovah's Witness. Just gonna walk right in there.
Oh, it definitely entered Linda Blair. Just saying. But that whole movie, you kind of feel like you're supposed to feel safe at home.
I don't know where you're gonna be in the final cut, but you calm down, young man. If you're down there or over there or over there, I don't know who's gonna be in the top, middle, or left. But as soon as you said that, Ryan, you know what you did. I don't even know
know
if he
what you did.
I don't think he does. All I have to do is watch John. He's trying to hold it together. If I move my eyes or wiggle my nose, he starts laughing.
But
So it enters Linda Blair.
enters Linda Blair and all hell breaks loose. Priests are flying everywhere. It's a
Yeah,
Exorcist is a great film. My mother-in-law always talks to me about this. Is she's not a big reader, and she read The Exorcist when it first came out,
Oh God.
and she
Way
her,
scarier to read it.
well, my father-in-law was into
Way
King at the
scarier.
time.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so she was like, I don't like King. So she's like, let me give this a try. She read it. She was freaked out. She was excited for the movie. She laughed. The scariest movie at that time. She laughed at it. She goes, the book is way scarier. She
mean,
goes,
it's
read
true,
the
though.
book. She's like, read the book and then see the movie. It's two different things.
Yeah.
Two different things.
I don't know. I happen to agree with her. I think it's orders of magnitude scarier because it's like watching the movie, but you can't turn the movie off or pause it. Once you've
That's
read
true.
those scenes, they're stuck with you for you're like in the shower thinking about them and stuff. It resonates. It's a weird weird one. Try not to sneeze.
Well, it's like Salem's Lot. Like I've
It's
seen
amazing.
the demons. I've seen the miniseries, the original 70s one, which is more true to the book. A better adaptation of the book, I would say. But when
Yeah.
you read the book and you get to the scene where I'm skipping on names, but at the window, when the kid's clawing at the window after he turns into a vampire,
Arguably
you
the
see
best scene in the book.
it
And one of
still
the most
holds on
copied
to me.
scenes. Yeah. It's
Oh,
arguably the
100%.
best scene. And yeah, that's a great scene. Great scene.
He's-
Come on,
he's just
Henry, come here.
Yeah, screeching,
Run over
and
here.
it just, oh, God.
And he does. Nobody does horror through children like King, in my opinion. But
No, he does not. Children.
all right.
But
So that's his top 5 are done. His 14
Yes.
minutes and 48 seconds. Doop. But it's partially my fault. All right, Solomon, what do
It's
you
not
got?
mine at all. I have something, a departure, I guess. It top 5 Joe Lansdale projects.
Okay,
Us-
rock
so-
and roll.
He gave us a little hint that he was cooking something up, listeners, and now we're pumped. The reveal.
Yeah. So keep in mind, I have not read nearly all of Lansdale. So this is,
I don't think Lansdale has either.
yeah. So there's definitely going to be some favorites of some people left off of here. I'm going to get to it.
I'm writing this down.
So my number 5 is a short story called On the Far Side of the Cadillac Desert with Dead Folks.
It's a
Okay.
45-word title. That's my favorite part.
His titles are awesome. So, On the Far Side of the Cadillac Desert, a bacteria has escaped a lab and triggered a zombie apocalypse. In the middle of that apocalypse, a bounty hunter must transport a criminal across the wasteland to face
This
justice.
is what I'm talking about. Like,
All right, I love it.
I mean, cue the electric guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Get after it, Joe R. Lansdale. That's a good one. This was a film. This was made into a film?
No, this one was not. This is just a
Okay.
short
This needs
story.
to.
It
needs
does.
to be made into a film. That's
It-
such
it
a good
sounded-
concept.
It's a little
Right?
similar, minded, the movie doesn't have zombies in it, but there's a movie called Six String Samurai.
Okay.
Very B, but it's got some similar feel to it.
So robbed Lansdale.
Yeah, probably a little bit.
Yeah, it's fine though. I mean, borrowed is a better word. And I'm sure a lot of people have because Lansdale's pretty prolific too. It casts a pretty wide net. All right, what's number 4?
Number 4 is another collaboration with Don Coscarelli. It's a short story and an episode of Masters of Horror. Incident on and off a mountain road.
Okay.
Just probably my favorite of the Masters of Horror series. It's such good creepy atmosphere to it. So after crashing her car on an isolated mountain road, Ellen stumbles upon Moonface, a serial killer, dragging a woman into the woods. And from there, her own fight for survival begins.
Nice.
All right.
Very nice. This guy up here is from a Baron. It's an artist rendering of a monster from a Laird Baron story. And the Laird Baron story that it's cherry picked from is almost certainly partially inspired by the story you referenced right there,
Mhm.
by the way. It has very similar atmospheric tone, and I know for a fact Baron's poured over Lansdale
Mhm.
at some point. I'm not saying that he's like in love with him or anything like that, but I know he's very familiar with his work.
It's okay to be in
yeah.
love with him.
I mean, he very well may be.
All right.
It is okay to be in love with Joe Lansdale. My
It's
number
okay to
three
love
is
your heroes.
the broadest one of them. It's Happen Leonard,
Okay.
non-horror.
Okay. Yep.
So it was a TV series. I think he's 13 books in, and a bunch of short stories. So, Hap and Leonard are two down on their luck best friends. Hap is particularly luckless, white liberal, and his best
Yep.
friend Leonard is a black gay conservative, and they just sort of stumble into and out of a series of dangerous situations, and then eventually decide to become private detectives themselves. And they're all wild rides, and they're so like they hit the notes of your sort of traditional detective books, but in that sort of off kilter Lansdale way.
Mm-hmm.
And you
That's
immediately know these characters.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah,
cast
that's
is
neat.
good. Michael K. Williams, just to shout
Mhm.
him out. Omar from The Wire. He's just a phenomenal actor, and he shines in this show. He does.
These guys love them some Happen Leonard. I'd
It's-
like to point out that being a black gay conservative used to be possible, by the
Mhm.
way. They're not conflicting things. They're not.
No.
They're not.
No.
Be
No,
conservative
they're not.
Yeah.
and black and gay. We might have to cut that out. Depends on if we want to get boycotted before we actually get rolling. But still. Anywho, Lansdale doesn't give a shit, so we don't either.
Nope. My number 2 is the prequel to Bubba Ho-Tep. Bubba Ho-Tep and the Cosmic Bloodsuckers.
Yes.
So, before the nursing home, Elvis is fighting interdimensional beings at the behest of Colonel Parker. Elvis and friends must stop them and Big Mama.
Big Mama.
I
Talk
wish
about
this
not
will be
wanting to let a
made.
character die.
I want this made into a movie with Paul
Right?
Giamatti, like they said, as the Colonel. From what I read, I want
I
that.
mean, I'm sure he'd be down.
Oh,
Mhm.
he is.
Yeah.
We can get
He is.
Coscarelli to direct it. He's directed Giamatti before.
Yeah, we'll give him pocket change.
Mm-hmm.
For
Giamatti.
$600, Don.
What's
Let's
Campbell up
stretch it.
to? Right?
What
He's
is
not
Bruce
busy.
up to?
Nothing, I don't
Not,
think.
no.
He's
He's
got raked in a little Ash versus Evil Dead catch, and he's probably chilling.
Yeah.
You know,
and
he's not destitute.
all
I'll
that.
tell you that.
All the royalties are coming in from Maniac Cop,
Mhm.
Evil
I forgot
Dead,
about Maniac Cop. Yeah,
He's,
Bubba
getting-
Ho-Tep.
fine.
he's making bank off those Evil Dead
I
checks.
mean, he doesn't even have to go out to the conventions and stuff if he doesn't want to anymore. He's got plenty of cash.
I don't
I think
even.
he still does.
Grand weekend for them.
He still does,
I don't even
think,
know
right?
that he does them that often. I think he
I
does.
don't think he
a
does, but when he does, I'm
few.
pretty sure they're for the love of the game.
Yeah.
Like he does it for the fandom.
100%.
Yeah, I don't think he does it because he needs money.
No.
To quote him,
Yeah.
"Hail to the king, baby."
And he's got the burn notice money.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's got money coming everywhere. Bruce is doing all right.
Video games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's,
Yeah, he's fine.
he's the best.
He deserves it too. All right.
Briscoe
stop,
County Jr.
Bruce. Get to the juice.
And my number one, probably one of my favorite short stories ever. Godzilla's 12-step program.
That is a good short story.
Regale the listeners. What is Godzilla's 12-step program?
Godzilla is struggling to control his addiction to burning down cities and stomping people by going through a 12-step program and getting a job melting down scrap metal. It's got appearances from Gorgo and Gamera and Reptilicus, and it's just glorious. And listeners, viewers, it's free online. Just Google Godzilla's 12-step program and you will find the short story free. And it's
I'm
a 15-minute read, 20-minute
Yeah.
read.
It's like 5,500 words.
Do it.
I'm-
Do yourselves a
I'm
favor.
Solid.
I'm
And it's a
torn
testament to
between-
his ability.
I'm
Too.
torn between Reticulous and Kong being my favorite character in that story. And listeners, please read it, and you'll find out why.
Oh, good.
You'll find out why.
That is a solid number one. All right, man. That was fun. That was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed listening. You can tell by the way we speak about this stuff. This one was a pleasure for us. So everybody, have a great evening.
Have a good one,
See
guys.
ya.